Okada is elite. Okada joins AEW and joins the elite, doing 6-man tags with the Young Bucks. Being a heel is genius. True story. Someone asked me, how would I book Okada if he came to Noah? That was like a little Q&A video. I recorded it and said I'd make him a heel and did this long story. Maybe I'll redo it. And then, as I am uploading it, there's Tony Khan coming out with Okada as a heel. I was like, listen here, you son of a goose. He's in my head. He's in my head. So, Okada is elite. How you feeling about it? You finally got Okada on your side of the planet.
I'm excited. I've heard good things about this guy. He's a lot like Randy Orton, I hear.
A lot
No,
of people.
seriously, I think it's exciting. My fantasy booking, I'm sticking with it, is still that somebody steals his clothes and he comes out wearing the Bucks clothes for that match that night. And
Hell yeah.
that's my dream.
So yeah,
Even better if they already wrestled in that in those fights, or they have to wrestle in them later.
there you go. It's like, get him. So for those that don't know, Okada is one of his practical jokes, besides, taking selfies in a phone, is trying to put on the Young Bucks gear. And he's going to be a partner with AEW. He's making a ton of money in AEW. Yeah, so he's set. He just announced on Twitter he's buying a second Ferrari. So at least he's not spending his money poorly and making bad decisions. His wife is very wealthy. He's very wealthy. He's living his best life. He's living his best life.
And they've got that amazing entrance together where they do the coin flip and he comes out. It's so good.
Dude, when they
And
get
they
it,
kept this music.
I was so happy that he kept his music. I was fist pumping in the air. I was like, yeah.
Like
So
I'm excited about it. I think it's cool. I think they're doing it great so far. I'm excited to see it eventually build into Kenny Omega versus Okada.
yeah, that's what everyone wants in the UK. So it should be pretty amazing. And it would just be great to see him in their primes again. Or for one night only, see him in their primes. Hopefully Kenny comes back healthier. I'd rather have Kenny come back 100% than come back early. I just think the rosters now are too big and it's not worth injuring your stars when you have such a
There's enough
stacked
time for
roster.
him to heal.
Yeah, yeah. But we get Okada Omega one more time, and maybe they fucking rock it, man. I mean, for those that watch New Japan honestly and genuinely, Okada wasn't 100% himself the last few years. So now in a 6-man tag, he can kind of hide that, get the ring rust off, or maybe there was a lack of motivation because in interviews he's like, oh, it always changes, but he basically said, oh, I'm probably not coming back. So it should be an interesting situation. So I
Well, when Omega was on Twitch the other day, he was saying that he's basically working out as much as he can, as much as he's allowed to, in the ways that he can, and training in the ways he's allowed to, so that he's still ready because the roster is so stacked now that he's really excited to come back.
yeah. And hopefully he comes back healthy, and love to see him do something amazing. There's tons of dream matches here, and for the people that love pro wrestling, there should be some great matches. And just hopefully we'll see the Okada of old, and we'll see a healthy Kenny Omega, and it would be fantastic. Get that in
But even
UK.
so, Okada's going to be great. While I do think it would be better to give him like the IC title and let him run around with that. If you want to give him that Triple Crown and let him run around with that, fine. I think the Triple Crown's stupid, but if you want to give it to him and let him run around with that, let him run around with it.
There's way too many titles to begin with, and people are wondering because there's two points of views that I hear here in Japan and a little bit in the English speaking community is that if he's not coming back to New Japan, why would he have a New Japan Strong title? And on top of that, people are saying that he's more valued than that. But I feel like that's a problem that AEW has with Okada, Omega, Osprey, Shelton Benjamin. I think they're just too stacked. You know, like you hear people all the time, Jay White deserves to be better. He main evented a pay per view this year. I just
Yeah.
think it's going to be. You got companies that will run the same top storyline for 2, 3 years. You know, Roman Reigns, Cody, John Cena, The Rock, Okada, Tanahashi, Okada, Naito, where this roster on AEW is so effing stacked. I don't think you can do that. I can't
Well,
imagine.
I don't know. I think there's a way you can do it, but I feel like the way to do it is more rotating people.
Yeah.
Um like either on and off schedules where people just rotate out to rest and everything for a while, or where people rotate down the card to like they've lost some of their luster from taking losses or whatever, and they've got to rebuild their way back up the card and the rankings again to get back into the title picture again.
Yeah.
And then you have a way to get interest in them again. You get a way to get matches with them showing off how good younger guys are on the roster, while then rotating the main event scene so it stays fresh.
And that's why I'm so glad that the ranking system is back. Even Timeless Tony Storm was like, don't bother me. There's a ranking system. Deal with it. You know, don't bother even talking to me. To me, I like that a lot. And I am big Okada fanboy. I will critique everyone and everything. I'll say when you're good and bad. And I'm hoping that Okada shines here. And poor
I'm
Nakamura.
excited.
Poor
Okada
Nakamura.
has so many matches he can have that I'm stoked.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's a 3 or 4 year deal, full time. So should be.
He's moving to the U.S. and everything.
Yeah. It's gonna be a long distance relationship unless the missus comes. But the missus is making bank. Can you imagine being so successful and so wealthy? You're like, but I don't know. I mean, long distance relationships ain't what they used to be.
That's true.
Plus, go to Hawaii. Halfway.
Plus, it's not like they can't just fly over every
Yeah,
once in a while.
Just private jet it up. So there
Yeah.
you go. Okada is elite. I'm excited, and I hope he shines. I don't want to, I don't want to see him be a Nakamura or an Asuka where it's like, oh, all right. But yeah, so hopefully he shines. Okada is elite.